I had someone in the comments wondering, they proposed, I heard out of Submariners that ADs get 1 in 5 are subs and the other 4 are the sub date. Now, this is a highly, I guess, talked about or speculated about thing. No one really knows, but in this book, supposedly, there is an answer. Let's see. First off, a couple ground rules. There are models like the comics here, I believe, and then the military specific one that was only given to military, right? These were only issued to military. As you can see, there are 539 apparently in existence. And then there's the gold, right? The gold, the two tones, all of those. I will not be counting things like the comics or the one that was issued here. So technically that should go in your favor and also kind of maybe in mine. I don't really know. I don't have a favor here, but the point is we're not going to count the two-tone, the gold, or the special edition Submariners, the gem sets, all those that were put into circulation. But that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. We're starting here. This is 1953. At the end here is 1978. You could do the math however many that is. Now, I'm going to put on the screen how many Submariners. When I say Submariner, it is the no date and then the sub date. I'm going to put on the screen how many were produced and the years. So I'm going to try to do this a little fast. I don't want to, bore you, make you read through anything in here. If you feel like reading it, feel free to pause. I hope it's, focused for you. But as you can see, real quick, Submariner has not changed, as we know, has not changed very much, right? There's the loom that changed, the way they do the loom, I should say. And then there are certain ones like this one with the little red triangles, which we do not have anymore. But let's move on. The no-date Submariner, the different periods that things changed or anything changed in the model. First released in 62, right? So 1962 to 1988. That's one span, no changes. The next, 1989 to 2000. The next after that, 2001 to 2011. Keep in mind, these are the Submariners, not the Submariner dates. And again, another change started in 2012. 2012 to 2019. And then from 2020, there's the new, the things that changed, the lugs, the thinning of the lugs, and of course it stayed ceramic from the previous era. Now, moving on to the sub dates. The first era of the sub date was introduced in 1969, according to this book right here. Nope, sorry, right here, 1680. The total amount made of those was 111,226. 8-year span, over 100,000 made. And that is the first. Now, the second era was introduced in 1979. That's on the next page, I believe. Yes, next page. From 1979 to, I believe, 1985, 7-year run. The amount made was 81,694 Submariner dates. 7-year span. Now, the next change to take place after that was 1986 to 2009. Now, that starts on this next page. We'll get there in a second. You'll see what those looked like. They were not ceramic. So anyway, that first era, that was 24 years. That was the run. After that, the next change was in 2010. And I believe that was the ceramic era. So from 2010 to 2019, that is the next time that it changed. The Submariner date changed. It encompassed the fatter, the maxi case, we'll just call it, right? You know what that is. And then after that, we're getting into the 2020s, which is this era. This is a 2025. And of course, the thinning of the lugs, etc., all that stuff. So let's move on and get into how many were produced. The Submariner, the no date, again, 62 to 88, 20-something year run, 151,449 released into the wild. Next, 1989 to 2000, 12-year run, 93,518 released. Remember, I added all of these up in this book. I didn't just Google this. It's all in the book, and the people that created this book were granted access to Rolex's, books, right? History, records, whatever not. Next change, 2001 to 2011, 11 years, 130,622 released into the wild. Remember, that one is the aluminum era, right? The aluminum bezel era. Again, we're still on the Submariner, not the dates. After that, 2012 to 2019, 8-year run, 153,437 released into the wild. Again, we're not counting special editions, as said before. Moving on to the Submariner date. Now, remember the first era, 1962 to 68. Sorry, 1969 to 78. Scratch the previous. Now, the amount made per year over that 8-year span, right? So that would be 12,358 of these put into circulation over those 8 years. And on to the next one after that, the next iteration, 1979 to 85. Amount made per year over 7 years were 11,670 of these Submariner dates, of course not the ceramic, put into circulation into the world. And next up, the next change, it was a 24-year run. So there's a lot released. 1986 to 2009, 24 years, 646,613 Submariner dates released into the wild, sold to people, whatever it may be. Again, we're not counting the green bezel, we're not counting the gold, we're not counting the two-tone, not counting any of the... Went over that already, you get it. Next, 2010s. This was only 2 eras that we have numbers for because it's been around a less amount of time, right? And less changes. Anyway, so changed again 2010 and ran to 2019. And then they changed it again in 2020. But that era of 20 years, 414,905 Submariner dates released into the wild, sold to people. Just the steel, no coloring, no gold. Now, let's get into the numbers. Okay, so taking a look at this, people say, oh, they make 1 million watches, right? 1 million, 2 million, however million watches every year. Very few of those are Submariners, as you'll see. I'm laying it out on the screen right now. Initially, 5,609 were made per year, roughly, if you divide the first era of the Submariner. Now, you see the exercise we're doing here. I won't read out every single bit, so I'll just throw them on the screen here for you to I guess, go over. Feel free to pause. Left side will be the Submariner, right side will be the Sub-Date. Now, the ultimate answer, right? How many of the dates were made for each Submariner made? The amount of Submariners created up until 2020, 529,026. So that is the amount of Submariners. No special editions, just the regular Submariner dates that are in the wild, sold to people, whatever it may be, on markets, whatever. Now, the amount of sub-dates in circulation, 1,276,476. That's the amount of Submariner dates in the wild, sold to people, existing up until 2020. And we don't know because the book has not been, researched and done from 2020 till this year. It just runs up to 2020, as you can see. 2019, 2020, 2020, 2020. All of these, this is 2024. So this is the obvious one that just came out recently. So it even says undetermined, right? I'm not trying to bullcrap you guys. Everything here is up to 2020. We don't have anything from there on. We just have the amount produced in 2020. All right, last bit of math here. I promise it's the last little bit. Now we're going to take the amount of sub-dates and divide it by the amount of Submariners. And that'll give you how many are made per, right? You know math. It's easy. So we're going to take the 1,276,476 Submariner dates. We're going to divide that by the 529,026 Submariners. And what do we get there? Roughly 2.41. Now, what does that say? That says that for every Submariner made, every no date made, There are about 2.5 made of these per year in existence. Now keep in mind, this is not the gold, as I said before. It's not the green, it's not the Kermit, it's not the Cermit, whatever you want to call them. It's not, you get it. No special editions included. So it's not 4 to 1, it's not 3 to 1. It's closer to 2.5 to 1 in existence. So I would not go about and say that the Submariner date, is far less common. I would just say it's less common. I mean, more common, sorry, other way around. I would say the Sub-Date is just, more common. I wouldn't go out and say the Submariner is, way more desirable because it's, far fewer numbers in existence. Keep in mind, the Submariner, the no date, was made prior to the Submariner date, before this was introduced. And, I believe, according to Wilsdorf or whoever, the Sub-Date, this, has a complication. It's more of a luxury piece. It's not a dive piece. You don't need to know the date underwater, right? So, a dive watch nonetheless, but a luxury dive watch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go from here, but hopefully that was a little bit, entertaining, not too much stressful. There was some math, I get it, but yeah, I figured I'd grab a book and go through the numbers, add them up, divide what need be, and hopefully you got some good information. Shoot me some comments down below if you want me to add up the two tones, golds, the Cermit, the Kermit, see what that number ends up being. Let me know. If you do want that, I'll do it. If you don't want that, let me know, and I won't do it. But, if I get a fair amount of requests to know how many are actually in play, right? Because you never know. If you count up the gold ones, two tones, etc. of the dates, maybe it'll be 9 to 1. Maybe it'll be 9 sub-dates to the one Submariner. You never know. But either way, I'm going to call it a day. Hopefully this wasn't too stressful, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.